What's going on, everybody? I'm Primal Liquid and I have done Final Fantasy VIII, I've done Final Fantasy IX, which means it is time for my Final Fantasy X 100% perfect playthrough. So we are just going to jump straight into it with choosing the standard sphere grid. Now, there are a couple of differences between the two sphere grids. For example, Expert allows you to go pretty much in any direction with any character. For example, when I used Expert Grid in my items only playthrough, that was because I could get Tidus over to steal really quickly. Same with all the other characters and things like that. The downside is the nodes are a lot more random. So, you know, it's like if I was to go over to steal, for example, then I would be locked into sort of that speed route with very little defense, very little attack, and so on and so forth. It also has less nodes overall. So because this is going to be a 100% perfect playthrough, we are of course going to be going for the standard sphere grid. And the reason for that is a lot more nodes, and it's just that little bit easier, more straightforward and things like that in terms of getting stronger quicker, which obviously speeds up the whole process. So we will be going with standard. Now, one of the most important choices this playthrough is which soundtrack. We can go the Arranged, which is obviously the new one for the HD collection, or we can go the original, which of course is the original from way back on the PS2 version of the game. So of course we're going to go with the original because it's near and dear to everybody's heart. There are some good tracks on the Arranged, but not a lot really. But yeah, I've been waiting to do this one for a little while. I did recently do my Sin Unleashed playthrough, and then obviously, you know, I took a little break from FF10. I went to do some other things, like FF7 Overpowered, and my new Overpowered video, which I suppose from when I upload this video, it would already be out, so I suppose I can technically say which one it was. But it was my Final Fantasy II Overpowered. So obviously that hasn't released at the time of recording this video, so I'm hoping the reaction was good, but we'll see, you know. It's just one of them things. But of course, the big thing is we have Final Fantasy VII Remake coming soon. It's a little under 2 months away at this point. So one thing I really want to do, you know, try and build some hype, sort of get ready for it, is I'm going to be doing a Final Fantasy upload every single day from now until it releases. And then after it releases, yeah, I'm probably going to be doing like 2-3 videos at least a day for the remake. Maybe more, maybe less, you know, I mean, it depends on what the game's actually like, what we can do on the game, you know, things like that. So it's sort of up in the air, really, you know, I mean, there's not really... Oh, excuse me, I've got a really terrible case of the hiccups at the moment. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those sorts of things where I've got a load of ideas in my head for what I can actually do on the remake, but until we actually get the game in our hands, you know, we all start playing it, then it's kind of difficult to really plan video ideas out, you know. It's like I could come up with an idea and then I get the game and within the first 5 minutes I realise, okay, this idea is completely impossible, it's not going to work, it's just not going to be doable on this version of the game. So that's why planning for FF7R is a little bit difficult. But at the same time, I'm going to be throwing up like tons of ideas, so that when I do get the game, you know, I can sort of hit the ground rolling. You know, it's like I'm not going to be thinking, I could technically do this, I suppose, or I could technically do that. You know, it's well, it's going to be a work in progress. But I do definitely think some of the ideas I've sort of got rolling around in my head, you guys are going to like for sure. I mean, I'm probably gonna do an overpowered video. You know, just throwing that out there. There is probably gonna be an overpowered video. Not sure what it's gonna be like though. You know, as I say, we haven't played the game yet, so it is hard to say. But you know, I mean, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Like, it's definitely gonna be interesting. You know, it's been a while since we've had some fresh Final Fantasy content for sure. It's like, I mean, when you think about it, other than Final Fantasy 14, the last FF game we had was FF 15. So it's been a while, and let's not forget just how empty FF 15 was on launch. It's like I've not played it since the well, I've not played any of the DLC for 15, but just the opening game on its own and that, yeah, it was pretty empty, pretty bare. You know, there wasn't really a whole lot to do. It's like a lot of the time on that game was pretty much just spent walking from place to place in an empty overworld. And I think that's really my biggest fear for the FF7 remake. Like, we already know it's going to be Midgar only, you know, I mean, Square have already confirmed it's going to be Midgar. But, I mean, the story from the original FF7, and obviously the plot has changed a bit, you know, it's like we already know that. So, what they actually decide to do in the remake for Midgar is up in the air. Like, they've said they're hoping for it to be about a 30-hour experience. Now, 30 hours is definitely a lot for Midgar, so I'm hoping they don't fill it with fluff, you know? Like, I think that is my biggest worry, really. And hey, it's Bahama. How you doing there, little buddy? But yeah, it's up in the air for the remake. But either way, you know, I'm hoping to drive some hype with the daily FF uploads. I know it's been a little while since I've done daily videos, but again, you know, I've got to prepare myself for FF7, so I've got to get back into the routine of actually uploading daily, you know, things like that. It's like, just lately I've pretty much been spending like a lot of my time just, you know, like recording, doing commentary, doing scripts, doing planning, things like that, and then uploading like once a week, once a fortnight. So there hasn't been a whole lot of consistency just lately. But that's definitely going to change, you know? Definitely going to change. Because one of the things I've got lined up after this perfect playthrough is going to be something else. And honestly, I think people are going to like it, so, you know, we'll see. Also, one thing that a lot of people don't actually know is on this pathway here, there is a girl who basically wants tickets for the show, and she will actually have some potions for you. There it is. I think it's this one. No. Not that one. Is it her? Yeah. So, man, tickets for tonight's game cost an arm and a leg. So, just keep talking to this one here. Can you get me a ticket? I want to see the game up close. Hit sure thing. Yeah, I am the greatest. And she will give us 2 potions. That's actually something that very, very few people know about. And it's one of those things I'm not really sure why. Like, it's so basic, but, you know, I mean, I guess it's just one of them things, you know? The more, you know. Granted, we really don't need those 2 potions, but, well, it's 100% after all. And here we have pretty much what I consider one of the best cutscenes in the game. Unfortunately, I am more than likely going to have to mute the audio for it, because, yeah, Square really don't like YouTubers using this audio clip. So, we'll see, you know, it's like, I'm hoping the commentary sort of offsets it, but, yeah, I might have to just remove the game audio here. I mean, this is probably one of the more iconic cutscenes in this game for me. It's like, how should I put it? It's like, it's that upbeat music, you know, it's like, it's really turning the tide, you know, like, and then obviously you've got the awesome Blitzball intro, and you've got to remember, like, when this game came out way back in the day, like, these graphics were insane, and Blitzball was, like, really interesting of a concept. Like, we'd had nothing like this before in Final Fantasy. So I think this is probably one of the big things that I really, really enjoy. It might actually also be why, like, when I was younger and that, I loved Blitzball so much. Like, I used to be able to sit there and I could just play Blitzball for 10 hours a day, just non-stop and not get bored of it, you know? It's like, I used to adore Blitzball. But now, I think after playing the game for so long, I mean, you've got to remember, like, the game came out in 2002, I think it was. So, I mean, that's like 18 years, you know? definitely a really, really long time. And when you played the game so much, you know what I mean, you do start getting a little bit sick of Blitzball. It's like, I think 10 minutes a game is a bit too long. 5 minutes? Yeah, I mean, 5 minutes would definitely be better for Blitzball. I mean, I suppose you can cheese like all the matches with like just sitting behind the goalkeeper on that, but even then it still gets tedious, you know, especially with how many games you need to do for all of Walker's overdrives, his Sigil for his celestial weapon and that, you know, it can get a little irritating. I must admit though, like, this little bit here, it really wants me, like, I just really want a Blitzball only game. You know, like, a full proper Blitzball game. None of this, like, flat path Blitzball like we have in FF10, you know, where you're only on, like, one level. I want full-on controllability in the full sphere of water. You know, it's like you move up, down, left, right, all that sort of stuff. Basically exactly the same as this intro was, you know? It's like, I just want to slam into someone and send them flying out the arena, you know? That would be an awesome game. But then again, I mean, you've got FF14, which has the rumours that Blitzball is going to be coming. Like, they've been teasing it for a few years. The fan base have been going on about it for a few years as well, so it seems to be more one of those projects that's sort of stuck in limbo. But we may end up actually getting, and I think in an MMO capacity, that could actually be really, really good. You know, like a 5v5 thing where every character's controlled by an actual player and that. I think that could be really, really cool. And there we go, we have Oren. My good old buddy Oren. Well, I can't really say my good old buddy, it's like I never use him, so he's more just sort of there for me. I mean, I think that's one of the good things about FF10. Like, the amount of customization you can do on characters. Granted, you do pretty much just end up with endgame everyone's a clone of each other than the overdrives. But that also means you can use like whatever character you prefer, you know? Unless of course you're going like full on overpowered, you know, it's like you're going min-maxing top of the line range. In which case you would use Tidus Walker and Riku or Yuna. Typically you would use Tidus Walker and Yuna though for like Dark Aeons and Penance. I mean, you can use Riku as well. Riku is definitely very, very overpowered with Mix, but when you really start stat maxing, Mix really loses its effectiveness. Especially with how broken quick it is. Even though it did get nerfed in the original, well, not the original, it got nerfed in the remaster compared to the original. It's still stupidly broken. Come on, Tidus, why are you backing away from your daddy there, bro? Like, that's your dad. Why are you backing away? One thing I was always curious about though is, like, why is Sin surrounded by a puddle of water there? It's like, we already know this Zanarkand is a dream. So, I'm really not sure why Sin is there in a puddle of water. It's like, it just doesn't really make that much sense, really. And now we got the Sin Scales. Kind of impressive though that such weak Sin Scales can actually destroy Zanarkand. I mean, obviously it's Sin who destroys it, but you know, I mean, they do some damage. They do some damage. And of course, this is going to be a perfect playthrough, which means we are going to be definitely getting quite overpowered at first, which means I will be getting Slayer for Tidus right here. And yes, I'm going to say Tidus, not Tidus. Tidus is absolutely stupid. And if you're one of the Tidus fanboys, just know that Tidus is not his name either. The game is Japanese, and his name is actually based on a Okinawan sun god. So yeah, Tidus and Tidus is technically both wrong. Tidus just fits more with the lore. So it is Tidus. Okay, so if you don't know, this is like a really easy way to get Tidus some early overdrives. We're just going to start off with killing Oren because, I mean, well, I never use him. Like, he does have a strong overdrive, but it serves no purpose to me, like, whatsoever. So, yeah, we're just going to kill him off. Come on, one more hit, one more. Okay, so there's Oren dead. Then we're going to kill that first Sin Skill there. Kill these two. Now these two don't really matter at all. Well, I should say 3. Like, those 2 battles with the 3 sin skills total, they don't matter at all. Like, you just want to get through them. This battle, however, where you have 3 in front of you and 2 behind you, you'll get hit once at the start of this battle, just like that. By the way, it is actually possible to game over there. Like, if you weaken Titus enough before this battle, you can actually die there and get a game over. So, the more you know. So, what we're going to do here is really, really simple. I'm going to get Titus to weaken himself first, which is going to take a little bit of time. And come on, one more. Nope, I missed again. Oh, of course. You know, I mean, that's just Sod's Law, really. Sod's Law. Come on, get it in. Oh! Stop messing! It's like the main thing I want to do is get him into yellow health, really. And that ain't going to happen at this rate, it seems. Come on, Titus. Come on, really? Really, Titus? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? There we go. Okay. So, now that I'm yellow health, that's going to be working on the... oh, excuse me. That's going to be working on 2 overdrives for us. We're going to be getting Daredevil, because he has low health. Because Oren is dead and Titus is the only one alive, that means he's the only one in battle, so we're going to be working towards Loner. And then these sin scales behind us, while these actually respawn infinitely and they don't attack us. So we're going to be killing these over and over and over to basically get Slayer. We can also get Warrior this way as well. And last but not least, because of all the turns we're going to spend doing this, we are also going to unlock the Ally Overdrive mode. So straight off the bat, we're pretty much getting like 5 Overdrive modes. Granted, we only really want Slayer. Warrior will come in handy as well, but Slayer's the big one. It's what's going to get us Blitz Ace stupidly early. Because obviously Titus is going to be one-shotting a lot throughout the game, and to get Blitz Ace we need to use his overdrive a total of 80 times. Which, you know, I mean, considering Slayer basically gives you a fifth of the overdrive whenever you get a kill, that means you need 5 kills per overdrive. So 5 times 80, I mean that's 400 kills. So basically Titus needs 400 kills to get Blitz Ace. It's like, when you work it out like that, it's really not that bad of a thing, you know, like it's not that long or that hard. In fact, we'll actually be getting that before Killiker, because yes, I will be doing the SS Leaky grind on the sin scales there. The main reason I'll be doing that is Gil and some starting sphere levels, you know, just so I can pretty much blitz through everything. Not to mention, I do actually have a few plans where I'm going to be out of the house for a good couple of hours tomorrow, so I'm going to try and line it up where I can basically do the bow grind there. I mean, granted, it's not going to be as stupidly overpowered as my How Overpowered series, but you know, I mean, it's going to be a good few levels. That way Kimari's also going to get enough sphere levels where I can basically push him straight to steal and use on Mikan. So yeah, we're going to be having some fun there. We're going to be having some fun. I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of Blitzball though for stupidly overpowered items. I'm probably going to get Walker's Overdrives, I think. I'm probably going to get the Overdrives early. I'll probably get his Sigil as well, and then that way I never have to touch Blitzball again, like in this playthrough. Because one thing I really don't want to do is like another 10 hours of Blitzball. So yeah, I'm probably just going to get his Sigil and that, and then call it a day on Blitzball. And I'll probably do that straight away. Well, as soon as we get to Luca anyway. Anyway, I know this part's going to be quite boring, so I am just going to cut this out. With that said though, enjoy the movie magic to the end of this grind. Okay, so I did just get Slayer Overdrive mode. I'm not going to go out of my way to get the others because honestly they're not that important, and the only one I really care about is Slayer. You can get them if you want to, but I'm just going to get them, you know, as the game goes on. So straight off the bat, I am going to revive Oren here because the next fight is the boss battle. We just sort of have to wait for him to run on down to us very, very slowly. There he is. And then we're just sort of going to kill the 3 sin scales in front of us. Once we've done that, we can move on to the boss. And this is, it's probably where I'm going to make the first big major mess up, because I am playing on the PC version of FF10. And what that means is there's no native DualShock 4 support. So the only controller support it has is actually for the Xbox. So all the commands you're going to see for Orange Overdrive are going to be Xbox controller prompts. And I can't remember what those buttons are, so yeah, that's going to be interesting because I am currently using a DualShock 4. So let's take a look, shall we? On a side note, this battle is also impossible to lose. Like, you literally cannot lose this. The Finn only, well, the Sinsuke, oh my god, I can't talk. The Sinspawn can only attack with Demi, and when you get to 1 HP, that will only do 0 damage. Like, it is literally impossible for it to kill you. Alright, let's see if I get this. Probably not, though. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, so close, so close. Nearly, though. Nearly. It was the Albion, well, it was basically like the back buttons that messed me up there. I used what would have been the triggers. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world at all. Alright, so now we're just sort of going to wail on the boss, you know what I mean? He can't kill us. I don't have to worry about health either because there is going to be a save point just beyond the boss. I must admit though, that was a nice crit from Oren there for 500 damage. Definitely saved a little bit of time. Now, if I remember correctly, I think this boss has like 1,500 health. Something along those lines anyway. I'm going to save Titus's Overdrive here though, and the reason for that is I'm going to use it on the cart instead, which is basically the next battle. So I am just going to leave it here. I mean, there's really not much point. It's like, I can just use physical attacks on this guy and it'll be fine. That, and given how low my health is now, Demi's doing so little damage that it will barely move Titus's Overdrive gauge. So, yeah, not that important. And there we go, first boss of the game down. I mean, I suppose you can't really call this a boss, but it is technically a boss. The very first sin spawn. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't change to Slayer just yet, because, well, you just can't access the menu at this point, so there is that. Of course, I am going to make a save. All these saves are from my Sin Unleashed and my item playthrough, so yeah, just ignore them. Well, I'm not going to be making like 100 new saves this playthrough like all my other playthroughs. Instead, I'm just going to be using the same one over and over. The main reason for that is, when I was doing my other playthroughs, I was setting my saves up so that, you know, like if I needed to record a clip from them, then I could just sort of load the closest save and go get the clip, you know? Whereas this one, obviously, I've already got all the save spots from my Sin Unleashed playthrough. Granted, that wasn't a 100% perfect playthrough, but it was like a 99% playthrough. So, you know. It's like, the saves will still be fine for if I need to record a clip. So I'm not going to bother overwriting them. Okay, this is where I'm going to use a Spiral Cut here. Well, I've got to wait until the reactor becomes targetable first, mind you. So, kill a few sin scales. It's a shame you don't get any EXP at this point. It's like, if you could get EXP at this point, I could actually, like, just get level 99 before I actually leave Zanuck, and that'd be a pretty interesting grind for an overpowered video. Would definitely take a long time, though, for sure. This could be bad. Nah, it'll be fine, Oren. It'll be fine. Trust me, you'll see. One thing I'm curious about though is like, why is that the only cart that's connected by electric? Like, if you look at all the others, they don't even remotely have like that electric coil there. They're basically all just like welded together, you know, like a solid train sort of thing. Whereas that's the only one with the gap. It doesn't really make much sense. Unless maybe that's like the engine at the front or something. I mean, I suppose it could be, maybe. One more hit should do it. One more hit. But of course every enemy has to hazard turn. So slow. There we go. And that is the Xanarkand scene done. Done and dusted. So, that's the tutorial over. Mostly, anyway. I must admit though, I do like the upcoming cutscenes, you know? Like, it really impressed me as a kid. It was just completely different to anything we'd ever had before in Final Fantasy. And let's not forget the fanfic from my Sin Unleashed stream. That was that pretty much put a whole new perspective on this scene for me. And if you've no idea what I'm talking about, I'm not going to repeat it in this video. So go watch the Sin Unleashed streams if you're curious what I'm on about there. You might enjoy yourself. You'll probably have a laugh, that's for sure. I know I did, and I certainly know a lot of the viewers had some fun during that. One thing I always tried to think of though is like, what is this part of Sin? You know, it's like, how does Sin forcibly bring Tidus to Spira? It's like, obviously at the moment this is the Faith's dream. Later on in the game, the Faith try and make out like they sent Tidus to Spira, but quite obviously they didn't. So I think that's one of the big plot holes that a lot of people actually forget about in this game. It's like, obviously as the story goes, the Faith basically send Tidus to Spira because they don't want to dream anymore. You know, it's like they sent Jack to Spira as well, hoping that, well, they could sort of vanquish Sin and New Yevon and that, and then they wouldn't have to dream anymore. But obviously, you know, I mean, that sort of falls flat on its face when quite clearly Jack is the one to bring Tidus to Spira. I mean, I suppose he could have been, like, working with the Faith, but given he is literally Sin, I'm not having much, well, I'm not going to put much faith in that theory. Just one of those little plot points that never really get explained. Or should I say one of the loopholes.
Like where I was.
What I'd got myself into.
I started to feel
Lightheaded. And then sleepy.
sleepy.
Well, go to sleep then, bro.
I think I had a dream.
I mean, that's typically what people do when they sleep.
I wanted someone, anyone beside me, so I didn't have to feel alone anymore.
I see, guys. That's what loneliness does to you. It turns you crazy. Do everything you can to avoid being lonely. Okay, Sunken Temple. Now, obviously I do have my save with the, like all the Albed primers on. I'm not going to use the Albed sphere here though to import the primers because then obviously I cannot pick them up in this playthrough. So I'm gonna be leaving them, and I'm just gonna be picking all the individual primers up throughout the game. It's going to be a little more annoying since we won't understand the, like, Albed in there, but, well, sacrifices have to be made, I'm afraid. And it's at this point we can also equip Slayer. So let's do that. Overdrive. So, as you can see, I did get Loner as well, and I got Slayer. Now, here's the thing. Loner and Slayer. Right, so Slayer will... Well, I can use Slayer on the Sahagins just before the next boss, but that's all it's going to give me. It's not going to give me any sort of overdrive charge against the next two bosses, especially after Riku joins as well. The good thing is Loner will actually give me overdrive charge, and it will only stop giving me charge after Riku joins the party. So I'm going to abuse this to get an extra couple of overdrives in. So that's why I'm going to set it to Loner first. Once this whole section's done and dusted in that, and, you know, it's like we're in the actual Sunken Temple, sorry, the Sunken Ruins, then I'm going to go to Slayer just for the Piranhas. Because I will be grinding Haste out of Tidus. Obviously, you know, I mean, that's basically just for the SS Leaky grind. That way, you know, it's going to be 110% safe. So if you don't know, like, if you do the SS Leaky grind, you can do it without Haste. but the sin scales do actually still get an attack off. So it is actually possible to die during that section, basically. So yeah, one of the things I do is I get haste, and that just gives us enough speed where our characters will always get a turn in, letting me one-shot all the sin scales. And there's the little Albed thing. If you wanted to import all your primers from another save, you would use that. But of course, I've already mentioned I can't use that. So we're just going to get the 200 gil and the potions, and call it a day here and move on. There is one more item to get though, but that's in the next screen. And then it's going to be battle time again. And then we're going to see that ass. I must admit though, like, one of the things from my my stream is some people found the Riku jokes pretty funny, and some people actually thought like I was genuinely being serious. Like, no people, no. Don't worry, it's just a joke. Okay, so last item in this area is going to be down here, which is going to be, if I remember correctly, it's high potions. Was it a high potion? High potion, yeah. Okay, now we can move on. Just a shame we don't have the celestial mirror here, otherwise I could have technically got one of the ultimate weapons, but, you know, we'll just have to deal with it, I suppose. We'll just have to deal with it. Right, let's go, boss battle. I'm going fishing without a fishing rod. You know, one of the other things that was never really explained is how some characters can breathe underwater. Like, it's pretty much imagined that when they're playing Blitzball and that there's some kind of magic used on the like stadium and that, or the water has some kind of magic cast on it allowing characters to breathe. But it's never really explained for areas like this where you can just sort of have your characters underwater permanently. Like, how do they breathe? Okay, so one of the things I am going to do here, I'm not actually going to attack the Sahagins. You see, when you kill two, the next boss will actually spawn. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to defend, and the reason for that is, obviously I'm on the Loner Overdrive set. So every time I get a turn on Loner, it's going to give me extra Overdrive, basically. I only need to do 5 turns for a full Overdrive. So I'm just going to keep defending, and then I'm going to do that twice. Well, I'm not going to defend twice, I'm going to use the Overdrive twice. Because, obviously, I've already used the Overdrive once. So this is going to make twice. And then I'm going to get another kill on the next Sahagin, which is going to be 3 times. And then I would only need 7 more UCs for his next Overdrive, which is Slice and Dice. So that's why we're just sort of getting the easy Overdrives, you know? It's like, we might as well get them while they're basically free. It's like, why do more work than is needed, you know? It's like, we really don't need to do this. Like, this is really not needed. I mean, the best place to probably get Overdrives is going to be the SS Leaky. Like, that is pretty much hands down going to be the best place for Overdrives. It's cool, though. It's cool. It's like, we might as well get a head start on them. It's like, we'll probably get Slice and Dice. Well, we will get Slice and Dice while grinding Haste. So, you know, yeah, it's just one of them things. The SS Leak is pretty much going to be to get us the last 2 Overdrives for him, though. And boss battle. Interesting tidbit. Even though we don't have steel yet, and it's actually impossible to get steel at this point, Gosengo here does actually have items that you can steal. You can actually steal water gems from him. So the more you know. And interestingly enough, he doesn't actually drop any gear this fight either. Whereas the actual time you fight him after acquiring the airship, he does drop gear. So it's like, even if you cheat and mod your save or something like that and actually beat the fight here, which, if I'm not mistaken, is actually possible, but I think it soft locks the game shortly after. It's been a while since I've seen that, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, it's like, I think you can actually beat him, and it's just, he will not drop any gear. But if you do kill him, I'm 99.9% sure it soft locks the game. And there we go, Dawnfish is crashing into the place. There is one thing, well, I say there is one thing, that I mean, at the end of the day, there's quite a lot of plot holes in this game, but one of the big ones is you're meant to pray to all the faith to get the final Aeon. While Boss Temple is sort of out in the middle of nowhere, and considering this giant fish is here sort of guarding the entrance, how do all the other summoners get the Aeon here, which allows them to get the final Aeon? A little bit of a plot hole there. So yeah, it's one of those interesting little bits, you know, that really makes you go, yeah. I mean, you'd think any summoner going around this area would just straight up kill the fish.
I thought I was gonna die in this place.
I mean, at least Yojimbo with the Cavern of Stolen Faith is explained. Like, summoners do actually still go there. Same with Remake Temple. Like, summoners do actually still pray there as well. Those are both explained. It's just this one lone temple is not explained. How, like, summoners actually bypass it to get the final Aeon. Okay, come on, Tidus. Get your way out. Obviously, there's Hercules right there, you know, just pushing that giant column of stone over. I mean, you know, it's like, he may look skinny, but he is, like, literally Hercules. Cold. Well, put some bloody clothes on them, man. It's like, look at what you're wearing. Of course you're going to be bloody cold. Okay, let's go get everything. No, that's the wrong door. I don't know why, but I do that every single playthrough. Like, I always go to that one door, even though I know that there's nothing in that way. Oh, well, let's get the flint. And then we're going to go get an ether, some high potions, I think it is. And last but not least, we'll be getting the Weathered Banquet, I think it was called. We'll soon see, because it's at the top of these stairs. What is it? I think it's the Weathered Banquet. Ah, the Withered Bouquet. Well, I was sort of right. You know, I mean, I was close. I was close, guys. I was close. And last item available. High potion. Okay, now we can go save and have a little boss battle. Which is naturally exactly what we're going to do. Because it's going to be the boss battle at Click. And then we're going to be meeting that ass. And that's where things get really interesting, because we're going to be doing some grinding after that. Again, absolutely not needed, like, at all, but, you know, I mean, you guys should know me by now. Like, you guys should absolutely know me by now. I am seriously a hardcore grinder. It's what I do, you know? It's like, I have to grind in FF. It is just who I am. It's literally a part of my soul. Okay, so Tidus falls asleep in some creepy ruins. You know, like, just not care in the world. Like, not a care in the world. He does not care at all. It's like, you're hungry, you know what I mean, he's hungry, he's cold. He has no idea what's waiting to kill him. And, yeah, he just decides to pass out. I mean, I suppose, like, this temple's a little bit like Australia. You know, it's like, one minute you fall asleep, the next minute you wake up, and there's a giant spider near you that can totally kill you.
What do you want?
What do you want?
It was a bad call.
Your team lost because of you.
Because of you.
You came to say that?
It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be crying.
It's fine. Tidus doesn't care about Jax. At this point, anyway.
You cried.
Come on, Tidus, wakey wakey. It's fighting time. So, Click. Good old Click. Now, Click is an easy boss, but also annoying. Like, basically he has 1,500 health, but as soon as Riku joins, he gets all that health refilled. Oh my god, these hiccups. Obviously, you know what, I'm going to have a drink. I really need to get rid of these hiccups already. They're doing my nut in. Give me a break. Okay, so straight off the bat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Loner, and I'm going to fill up my Overdrive. And I'm sort of just going to keep that Overdrive there. The reason for that is I'm going to be using that to overkill the boss. Oh, and there's Warrior. Sweet. Like, I really don't need to, but if you get a normal kill, it's 5 AP, and if you overkill, you get 7. Like, I know it's only 2 AP difference, but, you know what I mean, it's still 2 AP at the end of the day. So, we're going to go for it. Okay, here comes Riku. Now, that also means Riku, well, that also means Click has just completely refilled herself. Like, he's straight back up to 1,500. Now, what we want to do is overkill him, which means we need to deal 400 points of damage. Now, this can be annoying. But basically, if we get a crit on Spiral Cut, it will actually overkill. It's just rare that that happens. Okay, so we got that ass and some old guys. Let's go. I must admit though, that bottom belt might ride up Riku, you know, like, that can't be that comfortable. Okay, before I do anything though, I'm going to use a grenade and then I'm going to straight up heal Titus with a potion. And the reason for that is, well, his health's kind of low. It is actually possible for Click to get a critical and kill Titus at that health. So we're just sort of going to do that. Now, one thing I do need to do is keep track of Click's total health. So that's 2 attacks from Titus and a grenade from Riku. So that's about 500 damage straight off the bat there. Now, I'm not going to steal any more grenades, like 3 is enough. So that's 500 and about 800. Once you include the offshoot though, that's going to be about 900. So we're going to go with 9. And then that's 1,000. One more grenade will put me up to about 1,300, 1,400. So now we're going to use Titus' limit basically. Well, Overdrive. I don't know why I said limit. I think that's because of all the grind I did on FF7 recently. So there's a Spiral Cut. Now all being well, this should do more than 400. Damn, so close. So close. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It is really rare that you actually get that overkill. But, you know, I mean, what can you do? You know, like, what can you do? I mean, personally, I would have preferred the overkill because then you get 2 to 4 ability spheres instead of 1 to 2 as well. But it's alright. I mean, we're going to be grinding on the piranhas soon anyway, so we are pretty much going to be maxing out our spheres anyway. So it's not the end of the world. It's also a good idea to max out your spheres here on the piranhas instead of Besaid. The reason for that is Besaid, you don't actually get that many spheres. It's easier to get them on piranhas because they can drop them all. Is he a fiend? Kill him? I'm really missing those Albert primers. You'd think after all this time of, like, just the sheer amount of time I've played FF10, that by this point I would be able to understand Albert. I guess at this point it just goes to show no matter how long someone listens to a language, it's not that easy to learn. I at least know Kuno means sorry. It's like, I'm at least remembering that. Well, I suppose there's some words I can remember, but I don't know whether that's remembering the Albert translation or just the fact I can remember what it actually is on translated playthroughs. It's like, obviously, like before, whenever I do a playthrough and that, you know, I mean, it wasn't really for the sake of recording, so I just always used the Albert sphere. So I always had it translated. It's fine though, it's fine. What's up, guys?
Hey, that hurts.
No, it didn't.
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa, what's up, brother? Yeah.
Right, whatever.
Do you not understand?
I said I don't understand.
Wait.
You said you can stay if you make yourself useful.
You understand me?
Of course she does.
All right.
That's Sid's daughter. Of course she knows all the languages. Now, here's the really, really annoying part. Well, we'll get the primer first. Albert Primer 1. Okay, so here's the really, really annoying part. No matter what version of the game you play, there is no way to skip this goddamn sphere grid tutorial. It is above and beyond the most annoying thing in the game. It takes forever, and it's like, there really is no need to do this. Like, come on, just skip. It's like, does the speed up booster it? No. See, I can't even use like the PC's speed up booster to speed this up. We've literally just got to sit here and mash the X button to get through it. Oh dear, dear, dear. I must admit though, one interesting thing is if you actually play the game on Expert Grid, it still uses the standard sphere grid for the tutorial, which does absolutely nothing. So, you know, it's like you would think they would at least do the tutorial twice, once for standard and once for expert, but, you know, I mean, I guess they just didn't want to do that. Okay, this should be coming up to the end soon, I hope. Come on. Any day now. Any day now. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, speak to this guy here and you get 3 potions as well for free.
Found some ancient ruins right there
Okay, Riku.
now, but there should still be some power left.
And we're gonna salvage the big prize.
And then we should be able to salvage the big prize.
The airship.
Okay.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, is called Fulament or Fulament or something like that. I can't remember the exact name. It's something along those lines, though. Okay, so at this point, we're going to do a couple of extra things. The first one is we are going to be grinding grenades with Riku. We're going to be... Oops, I should actually change Titus's Overdrive over now to Slayer, because he's going to be killing everything on one hit anyway. Config, subtitles on, names on, I'm going to go on memory on the cursor. Help, we'll leave that on, I guess, why not. Aeons, we'll leave that on default, even though I'm technically never going to use them. And vibration off, because it gets annoying after a while. Okay, so here we're going to be getting some overdrives for Titus. We're definitely going to be getting slice and dice here. We're going to be getting haste for Titus, which, if you don't know, on the sphere grid requires, I think it was 10 levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 levels to get to haste. And we'll also be getting 99 potions, because if you go down to the next screen, then go back to the first screen and return to the ship, you can get infinite potions from this guy. There we go. And you can do that to get all the way up to 99 of them, which, you know, I mean, I may do, might not, you know what I mean, it's one of those things, it's a little up in the air. It's like, there's no real point in it, you know, because I mean, I'm probably never going to use them, to be honest. It's like, if I need healing here, I can literally just go back to the ship and use the save point. The big thing, well, the annoying thing here, though, is the battles can take ages to spawn. Like, pretty much like you've just seen. So yeah, we're just gonna spend a lot of time getting some kills with Titus. Also, I want to give a shout out to Banger. If you don't know, Banger was one of the ones who was watching my Sin Unleashed playthrough, and he actually decided to take up a challenge that I offered him. Basically, he would grind piranhas here, just piranhas here. And the challenge was to get Quick Hit. Now, if you don't know, Quick Hit is Titus's very last sphere grid node. So basically, you go all through his first, all the way around here, you know, all over here. You would get slower, you'd get hastier and all that. You'd keep on moving around until eventually you get to the very end, right there where quick it is. That is a very, very big grind, and if I'm not mistaken, he did actually finish that grind, so big shout out to you, Banger. You're a grinder at heart, just like me, buddy. You're a grinder at heart. And there was one more person who undertook the grind as well. I think that was Valet. I think it was him. I don't know. It's been a while actually since we talked about that. But yeah, definitely some big shout outs to them guys. Okay, I think I'm probably just gonna leave the potions now and just focus on the grinding. To be fair though, I know you guys really don't want to see this grind, and I know the video is getting on a bit in length now, so I think that's where I'm going to end part 1, and when we pick things back up in part 2, I am going to have this grind completely finished as well, so we can basically just move on with the actual game. So with that, I would just like to say thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, then please be sure to hit that like button and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're most excited for in this playthrough. And of course, if you want to help support the channel, then consider becoming a member or a Patreon, all of which are linked down below, along with my Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. Like always though, everyone, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.